So this is a review for Bounty Killer from 2013. It stars Mathew Marsden, Christina Locken, Christine Pitre, who is beautiful and half naked the entire movie and looks like this. Also has Barrick, Hardly, Abraham, Ben Ruby, Beverly D'Angelo, Eve, and the one and only Gary Busey, who was obviously in a lot of physical pain in this movie. He's only in a few scenes, but he's limping and injured, and there's, like, the first time you see his character, he's injured limping, so it's obviously actually Gary Busey and not the character who's in pain. Oh, this movie is fantastic. The very first scene is a guy trying to escape on a jetpack, and he has his head blown up. Yeah, so that's a thing. I really like this one. It's really fun. The basis, we learn after the little intro scene, they tell us, is corporations have ruined the world. And it's a wasteland of the entire East Coast and West Coast were destroyed. And now there's just the area in the middle where everyone just struggles to survive every day. And the only way to fix this is to kill everybody responsible, because that makes sense. So anyone who was a white-collar worker before is held responsible, and there's a bounty put on their head. And bounty killers fight over these targets and kill whoever they can and sell them to a guy who does something with them. I don't know what he's doing with them. He has like a butcher's apron on and stuff. I don't know what he's doing with these people. He's played by Kevin McNally, and he does a great job in this. He's pretty awesome. Yeah. All the bad guys helpfully wear yellow ties, because how else would you know they were a bad guy if they didn't wear a yellow tie? Duh. So mainly focuses around a guy named Drifter, who used to be the best bounty killer in the world. And now the most popular bounty killer in the world is a woman named Mary Death. She's played by Christine, I don't want to mispronounce her name again, Christine Pitre. Probably still pronouncing her name wrong, but oh well. So they fight over bounties, and after Drifter and his gun caddy, because they kill so many people, get in so many battles that they need someone to carry all their guns around in a golf bag and hand them to them as they're shooting. Because why not? Well, they're captured by gypsies, of course, and we learn the backstory that Mary Death used to be a gypsy and went to Drifter to get trained so she can become a bounty killer. They lived in a whorehouse called the Beaver Bar, which is actually the name of two local bars here. And all the hookers that worked there are called Beaver Girls. Not kidding. And she trains with them, and he uses live rounds during the training, and but eventually they fall in love and become the best bounty killer team ever. And he wants to live with her forever and have kids and not have to live in a whorehouse. So she stabs him in the spleen and leaves him to die. Because, of course, that's what you do. I don't want no kids. Blah! Um, so, Drifter and his gun caddy, who is named Jack Lamons. Really? His name is Jack Lamons? Okay. He doesn't have a name in the movie. That Drifter keeps calling him Kid. So they escape from the gypsies because the gypsies get drunk and pass out. And they steal their Winnebago, which is kind of this big Airstream thing, and fight off the gypsies, blow them up with a rocket launcher, and huge fight scene. One of them gets their head split in two by an axe, but after the battle, that we figure out partway through, the gypsy queen, played by Eve, didn't want the gypsies to chase after him. She wanted them to just let them go. Like, get up there and tell them to let them go. We weren't supposed to be trying to kill them. How are we going to find Mary Death again if we kill these fuckers? There's only one that know how to find her. But, still an awesome battle. After that, I got little notes written here so I remember what to say. Oh yeah, they need to get across the Badlands in order to get to the corporation headquarters, or council headquarters. There's only 9 good people left in the world, and they're called the Council of 9, and they make all the decisions of who has a bounty put on them and for what money. And Drifter has a huge, huge, huge bounty on his head, because it turns out he used to be the owner of a large airplane corporation, and them airplanes were used in the war that destroyed the world. So he's like the most wanted person on Earth. But he's trying to get his bounty taken away, so he goes to the Council of 9, and that's where they run into Jimbo, played by Abraham Ben Ruby. And they pay him with a 6-pack of PBR. Because, why not? That's what this movie should be called. Let's do this because why not? I love these type of movies. I don't even know what the plot is. The guy wrongfully has a bounty put on his head by his ex-business partner, who has taken over the council, and in their name puts a bounty on Drifter's head so that she can meet up with him again and try to bang him, because she's his ex-wife. But at the end, there's a huge battle, and they're in a soundproof room for part of it, so you see people's heads exploding in the background, and people getting chopped in half with axes and shit, while this nice romantic music plays, and Christina Loken, I think that's who it is. Yeah, Christina Loken, who plays Drifter's ex-wife and the head bad guy, because she has yellow nail polish. She's obviously a bad guy, duh. Yeah, there's this huge battle, people getting chopped in half, and there's grenades and rocket launchers and axes and guns and more rocket launchers. It's just terrific. Okay, yeah, so you can tell I loved it. There's no plot, no real discernible plot. It's just a classic quest story. We need to get from point A to point B, and when you get to point B, you find out the quest was for naught because they had fake information and there really was no goal. Basically, to put it in internet terms, the cake is a lie. So, there we go. That's our movie. What I think. I loved it. Bad parts. It's really, really ridiculous. So if you don't like stupid movies like I do, you're not going to like this. And during the final fight scene, there's a couple mistakes, but it's such a big, drawn-out, epic scene that they really can't go back and redo the takes, so they're left in. There's one where a bullet really misses its mark, and the squib pulls up way more tile, and it shows the squib malfunctioned and blows up this huge section of tile when it's like a pistol. And there's another part, a guy gets thrown into a sign, but they miss their mark, so he gets thrown about 2 feet short of the sign and has to reach out with his arm and pull the sign into him. But other than that, the final scene's awesome. This movie is based on a short film by the same name that came out in 2011. This movie is good because they brought almost everybody back. This is Pitre's first film, and she was in the original, so was Jack LaMon's there, Barack Hundley. They upgraded the main character from Brenton Box to Mathew Marsden. But everyone else is the same. Costumes are the same. Stunt people are the same. Art direction, sound, costume design, the writer, the producer, 2 of the 3 main actors, 1 of the side actors. Yeah, so I like this one. If you like crazy action films with no point, this may be one for you. So thank you for watching, and I'll try to do better next time. This was a really, really long review. I apologize.